Alright guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly and we are back talking transfers on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Harry Maguire once again because the latest transfer news is that Harry Maguire is almost trying to force his way out of Leicester to Manchester United. Reports suggesting that he has told Brendan Rodgers that he wants to leave Leicester, and that is music to my ears and I'm sure it's music to your ears as well. But before we get our teeth stuck directly into this story, please do leave a like on this stream if you haven't already, and if you're watching this as a video, I really appreciate it as well. And also leave your thoughts in the live chat and the comment section down below as well, what your thoughts are on Harry Maguire. Do you think we are going to see him at Old Trafford in August? Let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Welcome to Dazza and Rashford. Thanks for joining, guys. Really appreciate it as always. I just will I'll go live, talk a bit about the latest transfer news. But I won't just be talking about Harry Maguire, of course. I will be talking about Bruno Fernandes and other transfer rumours according to whatever you guys put in the live chat, because this is an interactive show, so please do let me know what you guys want to talk about. And yes, potentially, Daryl, to answer your question, potentially a bit later in the stream, we will be trying to open up Skype, seeing if that works alright. Hopefully it'll work, because I haven't got you guys on in a while, and I realised that, so I do want to get you guys on and get your opinions on the Skype. So yeah. Let's get straight into this. By the way, welcome to Watford Hornet. Thanks for joining. Make sure to check out his channel as well, and Daz's channel if you haven't already. Really good stuff on there. So the Harry Maguire story is that, as I said at the start or in the opening, Harry Maguire has reportedly told Brendan Rodgers that he wants to leave Leicester City. Now in this transfer saga, of course, we've had bids rejected and people saying the deal's not going to happen. People saying the deal is going to happen, and it's a very interesting situation, but it seems to be as of now, at this moment, it seems to be tilting in the favour of Manchester United. Leicester, of course, are in no rush to sell. They've in no rush to sell, but they have been linked to a few high-profile players themselves, so that is good news for United. It does seem to point to that if Leicester are going to try and bring players in, they are going to have to, take players out of their squad. They are going to have to sell because they're not really a club that has loads of money in the bank. So I feel like if they are going to bring in some players, they are going to have to get rid of some players. Why would they get rid of Harry Maguire? I do not know, because he is one of their standout players for sure. So if they are to let go of Harry Maguire, especially to Manchester United, I think it's going to cost us at least 75-80 million pounds, which I want to hear what you guys have to say as well. Do you think Harry Maguire realistically is worth that sort of money? Let me know in the live chat. Some people would argue that Harry Maguire is worth that much, and in this market you just need to pay that sort of money and pay the money, ask questions later. Other people would say that he's not worth the money and we don't need to be kind of taken advantage of as a club. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think about that. Welcome to Rodney. Thanks for joining, Rodney. Really appreciate it. Please do check out Rodney's channel and the link in the description down below. We had a really interesting discussion about Harry Maguire and the latest Man United transfer news on his channel, so make sure you do check it out. It's up on his channel right now. Really good stuff. He says, evening all, Maguire is still topical despite the haters. Well, there are a few haters out there, I do agree. A lot of people on social media, some people are saying he's not worth the money, some people saying that we should be going for people like De Ligt, Koulibaly, these sort of players. But I mean, look, we do need a centre-back, there's no question about that. In my opinion, I feel like the centre-back position is one where I think we need to target first and foremost. I think we have a vacancy in the centre midfield, which I think we need to fill, and also potentially as a winger as well. So I think for me, however, the centre-back role is something we do need to fix straight away. And I think Harry Maguire, for me, would be a very good addition. Someone who's Premier League proven. And someone as well, and I've talked about this a bit on the channel before, who has that contrasting style to someone like a Victor Lindelof. And for me, if you want to have a really good centre-back partnership, you have to have two contrasting styles. And you've got Lindelof, who's not as physical, but is very good on the ball. And you've got Maguire, who's also decent on the ball. He's been schooled in the kind of almost Pep Guardiola-esque playing out from the back. but he is much more physical and much better in the air. So I think if you had that sort of two combination, I'm sorry for the cricket reference, but of course England won the Cricket World Cup as well, which was brilliant. But anyway, I'm going to make a cricket reference here. It's like having a right hand, left hand. Right hand, left hand combination when you're batting. The bowlers find it difficult because they have to keep manipulating the field every ball. So a right hand, left hand combination is better than two right handers because it gives a bit of variation and also helps you out in games. That's it for cricket. That's all. I'm not going to bore you with any more cricket references. But welcome 20 Sports. Welcome Jude. Sorry Jude, I forgot. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. Patrick's your name. Patrick Jude, sorry. Jude, of course, is the Watford Hornet. I do get my names mixed up. But thanks for joining anyway. He says, good evening. Better late than never. Talking about you, by the way. All right, well, who's talking about me? I don't know who's talking about me. I don't know what you mean there by that. But thank you very much for joining anyway. Really appreciate it as always. Rodney here says, no player is worth that amount of money, but the football world has turned inside out. I think I have to agree with you. I think, £85 million 10 years ago could have got you Cristiano Ronaldo. And I feel like nowadays, Harry Maguire, I don't know. I feel like I'm slightly more towards the pay the money and then ask questions later in this sort of market, because I think if you snooze, you lose. And yes, in the past we've had a lot of times where we've forked out the money. 75 million for Angel Di Maria turned out to be an awful purchase. Other signings of that sort of ilk that we forked out the money for. Di Maria was probably worth about 50 million at that time, but we've paid 75 million mainly because we were dealing with Real Madrid, to be fair, who didn't really like us too much. But ultimately, it is what it is, and I agree that the market these days has definitely gone topsy turvy, and it's annoying like that. Welcome to Red Army MUFC. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it as well. Really appreciate it. He says, I heard Paul is staying. I'm not sure if Paul Pogba's going to stay at Manchester United. In some ways, I hope he does, but in some ways, I feel like if he wants a new challenge, I'm not sure whether it's better to keep him. The question is, does he really want to be there? That's my only question. Does Paul Pogba really want to be there? I was late. I do apologise for being late. I do apologise for being late, guys. I was going to try and go live at 9, but because of a few complications, it didn't really work out like that. But I'm live now, so hopefully you guys can still see me and all that stuff. The Watford Hornet says, Lindelof and Maguire at the back will be solid for you. I totally agree, mate. Totally agree. Patrick says, Neymar spoiled football in many ways. Well, we'll get on to that. I mean, Neymar is a very interesting one. Very interesting story indeed. Potentially going back to Barcelona. Who knows? But again, nothing to do with Man United. And to be honest with you, I really do hope Neymar is never anything to do with Manchester United, because he almost embodies the kind of player I want to stay away from this club. Honestly. Welcome Fergie and I. Welcome Fergie. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. Make sure to check out his channel as well. Great stuff. And welcome to Football Hub. Thanks for joining. As always, make sure to check out his channel as well. Really, really good stuff on there. Did a transfer podcast on his channel along with Dazza and Rashford as well. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already. So yeah, Rodney says Paul Pogba can leave and take his agent with him. So I think his agent as well is completely, the situation with his agent is I mean, I can't think of another word but toxic, to be honest with you. I mean, it really is. I mean, the amount of times we've dealt with Mino Raiola in the past, and he's just not a nice man. That's all I can say about him. That's all I can say without going overboard about it. But yeah, I mean, that is a major drawback with someone like Paul Pogba. You've got characters like Mino Raiola behind him, and then you've got Paul Pogba himself, who doesn't do himself any favours. So I think, yeah, it's an interesting one with Pogba. I feel like he has kind of publicly come out and said that he wants a new challenge, and he wants a new challenge. He wants to leave. So would you want to keep a player at your club like that? Is he really committed to Manchester United? I'm not too sure. So it's a very interesting one with that. But yeah, Patrick says, I meant his massive transfer fee to PSG has inflated the market. Oh, right. Yeah, of course it has. I mean, did he go for what, 200 million or something like that? Absolutely ridiculous. PSG, I mean, they have enough money, so they're not too worried about it. But, I mean, if we had spent 200 million on a player, I mean, especially bloody Neymar, who, I mean, yes, PSG, what? I mean, they did the same thing in the Champions League. Got to the quarterfinals. Got to the round of 16. Got knocked out miraculously by, I can't remember who knocked them out now, but yeah. Of course, Neymar just, he's probably one of the most overhyped players I've seen in a while. I think 200 million for Neymar. I think that is probably the best bit of business Barcelona have done in a while, I've got to say. Welcome to Killer Classic Gaming. He doesn't hold back on Mina Rola comments. He says, Rola is a rancid fat bastard. I'm going to say it. But yeah, I mean, it's good you're not holding back. It's good you're not holding back at least. Welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it as well. So yeah, obviously we talked a bit about Harry Maguire coming to United. I feel like, as I said, my kind of final thoughts on Harry Maguire. Of course, I'll probably try and open up the Skype for you guys as well a bit later in the stream, so you guys can give all of your opinions on everything that we discussed. But my final thoughts on Harry Maguire is that even though it is quite a high price tag, I would pay the money for him. And I think him and Lindelof could potentially be a winner. They could be a winning partnership. So we'll have to see what happens with that. I do feel like that this transfer saga is getting towards its conclusion, if the reports are correct that Harry Maguire wants to leave, because usually when a player tells the manager he wants to leave, that's almost the last straw. That's like the straw that breaks the camel's back, really, in the transfers. So yeah, I'm hoping that this Maguire deal can happen sooner rather than later, but of course, we're Man United. These sort of deals never happen quickly, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. So as I said, leave your thoughts in the live chat on Harry Maguire and things like that, as you've always been doing, and also let me know anything else you want me to touch on, anything else you want me to give an opinion on, or anything like that. Please let me know, because as I said, it's an interactive stream. You guys set the agenda, as I like to say. Rashford says, Kieran, some fans think we can get players better than Maguire. Please who, he says. Which centre-back wants to come to United apart from him? Other defenders won't want to step down from the Champions League to the Europa League. And I think that's a really, really good point. It's a really good point. We're in the Champions League. People will say we are the biggest club in the world, but we're playing in Azerbaijan on Thursday nights. We're going to the Czech Republic. This is the reality. This is our reality, and I think there's some Man United fans who still think that Sir Alex Ferguson's sitting in that dugout. That's not the case. We are currently in the Europa League, where we were when Mourinho first took over, and yes, we can still attract some big names, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. The Bruno Fernandes one is also interesting, because I was kind of thinking, why would he want to go from Sporting Lisbon, which is a Champions League club, and come down to Manchester United? I don't understand that. I wouldn't understand that. Of course, maybe he wants to play in the Premier League, and that's fair enough, because of course the Premier League's, it is a draw, and I just don't see why he'd want to come from Sporting Lisbon, to Manchester United, who, in some ways, in terms of European football, it'd be a bit of a step down. But hey ho, as I said, another one, Bruno Fernandes is someone who I think I would like to see at United as well. Of course, Ander Herrera left, and obviously Fellaini left as well. And some people might laugh at that, but I think Fellaini was a good plan B. But yeah, I think ultimately, I think I would like to see Bruno Fernandes coming to United. His stats seem very, very good from the Portuguese league, and we seem to have a really, really good record with signing players from Sporting Lisbon as well. So hopefully it's second time lucky with that one. But to be honest with you, that transfer saga seems to have been kind of cool and calmed down, really, because no one's talking about it. Everyone's talking about Harry Maguire. Some people are even saying that the Bruno Fernandes deal is completely off. He has played in 2 pre-season friendlies with Sporting Lisbon. He's almost doing the similar thing that Paul Pogba was doing. He's being professional. He's not trying to push the move through. But I do think this, the Bruno Fernandes saga isn't at its conclusion as of yet. I still think there's something in that. Ronnie says, true, at this rate, I'll be linked to Bamba at Cardiff. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, he's trying to negotiate a new deal, but I tell you what, put in a little £30 million bid, who knows what could happen. But yeah, the Football Hub says, Kieran, one more signing, who do you sign? I'd take Maguire. That's what I think. The centre-back spot at Manchester United is the main role that we need to fill. So for me, Harry Maguire would be the player that I'd sign. That's my opinion. It's a good question actually from the Football Hub, and you guys can let me know your thoughts in the live chat as well. Patrick says, has Titus Bramble retired? I'm pretty sure he retired about 5-6 years ago, to be honest with you. But he was an absolute Wigan legend, I have to say. A Wigan Sunderland legend. Rashford says, I know it's hard to say as a United fan, but we are currently not a big club. As fans, we have to know rebuilding while playing in the Emerdale Cup is very hard. I couldn't have been easy when on Champions League. Well, I totally take your point. I think, you have to be honest in these sort of times. The one, what is it they say? It's the first step to solving a problem is recognising that you have a problem. And look, we aren't the biggest draw that we used to be. In the past, when we were in the Champions League, when we were winning Premier Leagues week in, week out, we could attract the best players from around the world. We were able to take Robin van Persie from Arsenal. Even though he was having a brilliant time at Arsenal, he still came to Manchester United. And we can't do that anymore. We're not a big draw as we used to be. And that is because of Champions League football. And yes, last season we were in the Champions League, and we had Jose Mourinho, which I think also was a big draw as well. But this season, we're shopping in a different supermarket. We're shopping in a supermarket on Thursday nights after 10 p.m. when they've got all of the stuff that went off last night. We have to go searching around for that. And other people are shopping in Harrods, and we're shopping in, Lidl or Aldi or whatever you want to call it. Rashford said definitely Maguire. He says definitely Maguire. I would agree with that as well. But guys, I'm going to open up Skype now. I want to hear what you guys have to say on what I've been saying. And just we're going to talk about Harry Maguire, talk about other transfer news as well. And hopefully it'll be good. So if you do want to call in, please do feel free to do so. And if you want to know my Skype name, my Skype's in the description down below as well. So yeah, it should be good. And we've already got our first call. It is, of course, the main man himself. Hold on, just to get the speaker on. Patrick says, the most I've been thrilled by a United player since Martial was James, and he didn't disappoint. He was quick against Perth, very excited for the start of the season. As I said, I watched that, the Perth Glory match. I thought he was decent in that first half, so yeah, I thought he was very, very good. So I'm expecting good things from him. I'm not sure whether he's going to become an established United player this season. Obviously, I hope he does, but we'll have to wait and see with that one. I think off a 45-minute performance, you can't really judge too much. So we'll see what happens with that one. But we have got... we do. We have got the main man on the line. You guys will know who he is by now. And if you don't know by now, it is, of course, Daryl Johnson. His link's in the description down below, also known as Dazzer's Football Stand. Dazzer, thank you for joining me once again.
17 in about 4 hours. 3 hours. Yeah, the man who turned 17 tomorrow. So.
All right, well.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, well, it's great. I mean, I didn't know it was that close to your birthday, but I guess it's a bit of a an early happy birthday to you, Dazza, and 17, getting close to 18, where everything is legal. But anyway, we'll move on from that. Anyway, we're going to talk obviously Harry Maguire, as you know, and just Man United transfers in general. But firstly, I'm going to ask you about Harry Maguire. Firstly, what are your thoughts on him? Do you think this transfer will get over the line? And do you think he would add something to the defence? And what would he add to the defence?
I think it could go ahead. It depends what Harry Maguire wants, because the minute Leicester City aren't playing in Europe, which I'll say could work in our favour. So he might want to actually play in European football. He did, I believe, do that with Leicester when they won the Premier League. So I'm assuming he was one of the Leicester player there. So as I say, I can't remember, going back quite a while. But that's a positive. United's actually playing for a team who were the champions in the recent years. So that could be good for us. I also think that if he does come in, the reason it'll probably be 80 million is mainly because he's English and has a lot of Premier League experience. And that's probably why, obviously, Leicester City don't want to sell him for anything less. We do need a centre-back immediately. Anyone who's, be honest, Harry Maguire can't do much worse than Phil Jones. So it's fair to say that.
Very true.
I'd like it to go ahead. Not sure whether it will do. It depends on what depends on what Maguire himself is looking at and what his options are. He could actually stay on at Leicester. So we won't be able to find out for certain until it actually gets confirmed or an agreement's being made between him and the board. And who knows? I think the one issue with United last season was that when you look at United, at the minute we're just signing some youth players that are actually English, and signing a couple of good individual youth players, which is promising. Maguire's also not that old, 23, 24, something around that, I think. World Cup semi-finalist. He played well at the World Cup, played well this season for Leicester. And it's a bit like Wan-Bissaka, really, isn't it? Where you get people saying, he's going to be no good for United because he plays for Crystal Palace. Maguire, it'll probably be the same. There's fans going to be writing him off because he plays for Leicester and where Leicester finished this season, mid-table. So, I remember you saying on the transfer podcast with Jack that you like people writing signings off and stuff, because it actually makes them think, right, what do I do here? Should I just try and prove them wrong? We'll have to prove them wrong. And that's something good. It gives the new signings a challenge. So, who knows? I think it'll be good for Maguire if he goes to United. It means he gets European football. He'll get quite a lot of starts as well. So, if it goes ahead, I'd happily accept it. If it doesn't, never mind. We just try and focus on trying to sign someone else. There's not only Maguire who United have been linked with. We were linked with De Ligt. That's gone down the drain practically. Bruno Fernandes, I think that's going to go down the drain. I think centre-back mainly is our main priority at the minute, especially with a lot of the deadwood players being defenders. So, I think it'll be interesting if it does go ahead. But it depends on, how much money we offer them. Because I think knowing Maguire being an England international, and Leicester City obviously playing, obviously going to charge us 80 million stuff. I think United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer are looking at having to pay quite a hefty salary.
I totally agree. It's gonna take a lot of money, no doubt about it, because when Man United come calling, clubs stick an extra 10 million on the price because they know we've got the extra 10 million. Whether we actually do or not, or whether the owners are, spending it on some sort of £500 million yacht, who knows? Just want to welcome Football Fan 148 as well. Welcome, David. Thanks for joining as always.
David.
He says he thinks Leicester will not let him leave the club. He's an important player there, but he can't see him being sold by Leicester. Well, no, I agree that, I don't see why Leicester, would want to sell Harry Maguire. I'm sure they don't want to sell Harry Maguire because he is one of their best players. In fact, he's probably one of the reasons why, they even finished mid-table last season. To be a respected England international, he's a very, very decent talent, and so £80 million, £75 million is going to be the minimum that they'll want from him. Killer Classic Gaming says the audio's good. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate it. Welcome, Football Fan Fever. Welcome, Dan. Thanks for joining as well. Really appreciate it. He says our back four will look decent for once after a long wait. Exactly. Well, in my opinion, I feel like Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw would be a brilliant back four for me, and I think or it would definitely be getting there. It would definitely be getting there in terms of back four. And the Football Hub says the Football Hub did not like the fact that you don't think the Bruno Fernandes transfer is going to happen. He's still hoping. He's still hoping. And Killer Klatcher Gaming says, I bet Woodward takes so long to do transfers so he doesn't have to sign many. Gives him a nosebleed parting with cash. I think you're totally right, mate. I think you're totally right there. One thing I want to ask you, Daryl, before we get somebody else on, because I can see Jack. I think Jack wants to call in, so I'll ask you something else, Daryl. You touched on Bruno Fernandes there. That seems to be the kind of other underlying side transfer saga, if you like, to this Harry Maguire one. You said there's still not really much hope in it. If we were to get Bruno Fernandes over the line, if we were to get him over the line, do you think you'd make a difference?
Depends, because it's a step down from the Champions League. And what Rashford said earlier about, players won't want to come to United because, it's Champions League going down to Europa League, playing on Thursday nights in Azerbaijan and all over the shop. And even playing in Tesco after time, that's what it feels like. But, to be honest, I think if he did come in, I don't think he'd be a bad signing. I just think it would take him a bit of a while to get used to the Premier League. He's got no experience. It's a total different ball game in the Premier League than it is in the Liga NOS. So he'd struggle to fit in. And I think if he did come, well, we'd have to just be patient with him. I mean, he's a fantastic player in the Portuguese squad. He's a very good player in the Liga NOS. Does he have what it takes in the Premier League? Maybe not. As I said, different ball game. It's a lot more. I'd say it's a lot more feistier and harder in the Premier League than it is in the Liga NOS, because there's mainly only 3 or 4 teams that are actually good in that league, and that is Benfica, Lisbon, Porto, and I think I might have missed one more team out, but I think Fernandes, he won't want to leave Sporting Lisbon because of the Champions League, and that's mainly it. And it's also because I've seen loads of reports saying, loads of channels, Football Terrace and all them, saying that the deal's off. So that's mainly why I think we don't have much hope in it. But overall, I think Maguire is still on, even though he was linked with Man City not long ago. So it'll be a battle between United and City for him. And Bruno Fernandes, I think he's going to stay at Lisbon, in my opinion.
Well, there you go. I think you could. I mean, look, I feel like there's still something in this Bruno Fernandes transfer saga, but I think it is the chances of him signing are kind of slowly depleting with every day, because I think there's only about 23 days left now until the end of the transfer window. So there's still time left to do the deal, but I'm not really sure if it's going to happen. So, but yeah.
Seen what Killer Kalachi's put.
Well, I'll just read that out now. He says, with the Europa League games in faraway places, might not be so bad to tie Young, Jones and Sanchez to a tree and forget about them. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant, yeah. I mean, why not? Give it, may give it. I mean, no other club's going to take them, so, that we may as well give that a try. So, yeah. But, Daryl, been a pleasure to have you on, mate. Thanks for coming on as always. And happy birthday for tomorrow as well. And yeah, and oh, sorry.
Catching up to you now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, thank you very much for support and everything like that. Really do appreciate it. And as I said, make sure you check out Daryl's channel. Link in the description down below, as usual. Dazza's Football Stand. If you don't already know, but if you don't know by now, then get to know, because he's a lovely fella. And make sure you check him out. But yeah, Daryl, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
No problem, mate. Thank you very much. See you later.
There's Daryl. Daryl, thanks for calling in as always. I mean, he's just a bit of a channel legend. But I love that from Classic Gaming. Rasha says that's why we have to overpay. Sorry, that's the only way we can afford. We can offer nothing more. I think, as I said, pay for it, ask questions later. Yeah, I agree with that. At this point in time, I think we are desperate like that. Here we go, another caller. Jack is on the is on the stream right now, Jack's Vlogs, or if you want to check him out, is the Football Hub in the live chat. Check out his channel as well. We had a really, really good podcast earlier in the week, so make sure you check that out. But Jack, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. How about you?
Yeah, very, very good. Very, very good indeed. So yeah, obviously we've been talking about Harry Maguire and other transfers and things like that. I'm going to open up with Maguire. First of all, what are your thoughts on this transfer? Do you think it's going to go ahead? And in an ideal world, how much money would you want to pay for him?
I think the deal will go through. I think it's just a matter of time now. I think I'd set Sunday as a realistic deadline, like for it to be done, because I think we have a long chance to have it done, and I think it will be done soon. It's just a matter of when he comes to do his medical from wherever Leicester are pre-training, then he has to come out on the tour, then he'll have to train. So it's quite a complicated process because we're on tour, unless he does it the 2 days where we return before we go out to Shanghai. So it's just a matter of time now, I think.
There you go. I mean, I think, yeah, I think, of course, it's, I mean, Sunday, as you said, you know, as the kind of, you set Sunday as a bit of a time where we could get the transfer done, and I think depending on how far ahead this actually is, because sometimes the media report things that, you know, report the story that it's further back when actually it's much further advanced than they actually think. So Sunday definitely could be a target to aim for. But you know, as you said,
it's like really complicated.
Yeah,
it's really complicated because you have the Sun reporting it, and a dog's more reliable than them, and you have David Ornstein reporting, which he's quite reliable most of the time. So I'm not sure. I'd take it with a pinch of salt because it could be true and it couldn't be, because it was rumoured to have medical today, and look at what happened. No medical.
Yeah, exactly.
Anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, to be honest, when I saw that rumour at first, I mean, I didn't believe it at first, to be honest with you, because I just thought, you know, to have a, you know, to not even like have that many reports and then suddenly out of the blue he's gonna have a medical. I just, and it was from the Sun as well. So as you said, but yeah, I think Harry Maguire is someone who, I mean, as I said before, you know, I feel like this transfer is kind of slowly going into the favour of Manchester United, and hopefully it does get over the line as well. Just want to say welcome to Draco. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. Go check out his channel because his channel is absolutely popping off at the moment. So make sure you do check out for all the latest Man United transfer news. Really, really good to have you here, buddy. He's disappointed that there is no medical. Well, of course, yeah, that was the reports, and we were just talking about that now. So of course, you know, Harry Maguire. You know, we talked a bit about, you know, how he would fit in with the team, and I want to ask you this: do you think that Harry Maguire and his style of play would suit the style of play that Man United are trying to build? And do you think he would be a good centre-back partner for someone like a Victor Lindelof?
I do think he will work well with Lindelof. I think it just takes... I think the tour is the perfect time. So get him out against Milan, Tottenham, AC Milan, Inter, obviously, all the other teams we're playing. Get him out there. Get him to start bonding with the centre-backs he could potentially be playing with, so he can bond with them and get used to meeting them, because he'll obviously know a few lads like Jesse Lingard and Marcus Rashford from obviously England, and I think he will sign at some point. I can't remember what you said. What was the other question?
Do you think his style of play, you know, the way that Maguire's quite physical, but also he's very good at playing out from the back, do you think that would suit the style of play that Man United are trying to build going forward?
I think it would suit it well, because Maguire's obviously very physical and he's not scared to go in for a tackle, because some things you do see in defenders, they're not scared, or some of them can be scared to lunge into tackles. Obviously people like Wan-Bissaka, you know, they'll go in for a tackle every day of the week. Doesn't matter if they get sent off, they still got... But everyone says, all the Liverpool fans, when I went to school today, they said, "Oh, I saw these highlight things of Wan-Bissaka." And I was like, yeah, no, he did well. And he's like, no, he didn't even get the ball. I was like, yeah, he was clearing it. It doesn't mean he has to get the ball all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, but I think he will. I think playing it out from the back will do better, because it means he can push the midfield up a bit, which means we're actually going to get more chance of scoring, because there'll be more men up front.
Yeah, no, Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. I do agree with you on that one. Killer Catch says Maguire for 9 million is a bit steep, but it saves us seeing that Jones gargoyle face he pulls. It'll be worth the extra. Well, I can't agree. I can't agree with you more on that. I cannot agree with you more. Draco says Maguire is not pacey, but as a centre back,
have you seen the thing on?
Oh, go on.
Seen the thing on Google if you search up Maguire where it says the joke?
No, I haven't seen that.
It says on so if you search up Maguire onto Google, it's literally so funny. So I'll search it now quickly. It says, it's gone now, I think. But basically, it said he will be having a season to come playing with Calamity Jones. It said that. I'll send it to you. It said like something about.
Wow, I mean, to be fair, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. It's a joke, but it's not. Man United fans will know it's not even a joke at this point. Draco says Maguire's not pacey, but as a centre back, you don't need that. You need acceleration and good reading of the game. Yeah, I think he has that in abundance. He also says Lindelof will develop better with Maguire next to him versus Smalling and Jones. I think that's a good point. I think that's definitely a good point. But Jack, I want to ask you as well. I'll start with this one. I want to ask you in terms of Bruno Fernandes. Do you think the deal is off? Do you think this transfer is slipping away from the grips of Manchester United, or do you think there's still something in this?
I think there's something in this still, because I think if it was off, I think Simon Stone and like Simon Peach and all of these guys would have said Man United have dropped their interest, because I think we may have calmed our interest for the moment, because we know that not many clubs are actually in for Bruno Fernandes, whereas Man City were in for Maguire. We're scared, like, oh, do we go for Bruno or do we go for Harry? So I think they said, well, we know Bruno doesn't have actually many or any teams actually looking at him according to reports. So they've took the smart option and tried to go and get the Maguire deal over the line, and then they'll focus on the Bruno one, because they know there's not many clubs on the radar for him.
Well, that's a very, very interesting point, actually. And I mean, Draco thinks that Bruno Fernandes is on. He still thinks it's on. Seems like we're doing one deal at a time. So there you go. Draco still has the faith in the Bruno Fernandes deal. But I think it's going to take time. I think the fact he's on tour with, Sporting Lisbon, and, it's going to take time just to even, sort all that stuff out. Never mind the transfer fee and the medical and all that stuff. So I think it'll be a while until we see the final outcome of this one. But I do think there's still a chance. There's still a chance of us picking up Bruno Fernandes. But Jack, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
That's all right.
And as always, and always welcome on again. And make sure, guys, as well, you check out the Football Hub, which is he's in the live chat right there if you want to check him out. Link in the check out his channel. Really, really good stuff. So yeah, make sure to check it out. Really, really good transfer podcast as well on there, which I was featured in. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, Jack, thanks for joining as always. And
right.
Yeah, see you later, pal.
Yeah, I'll see you later. I'll see you. Bye.
There you go. There's Jack on the mic right there. Really, really nice guy. Make sure you check out his channel as well, the Football Hub. And he also does really, really good graphics as well. So make sure you do, check that out. And I'm sure he'd be happy to oblige if you wanted to, make some stuff for you. Draco said he's going to shoot off now, buddy. Pleasure to see your live stream. I'll definitely drop by again, mate. Well, thank you very much, Draco. Really appreciate it. Make sure to check out his channel as well. Really, really good Man United content, along with some other stuff as well. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. And Killer Clatchy says, wouldn't be surprised if City gazumped the Bruno deal. They don't generally go above 70 million, and he's under that. I think Man City could go for him. As if Man City need to strengthen any part of their team. I mean, they've got a ridiculous amount of squad depth, so we'll see what happens with that. But maybe they might want to get back at United for taking away the Ron Van Persie deal. He was potentially going to go to Man City. Also the Alexis Sanchez deal as well. They might want to get back at us for that, so who knows. But guys, it's been nearly 40 minutes I've been live. Usually I don't really, go live for that long, but I am going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate all of your support tonight. As I said, please do leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Thank you so much as well. We've surpassed 700 subscribers. Really appreciate it. It's a really special landmark, so thank you so much for helping us out. And yeah, really do appreciate it. Make sure you check out all the channels in the description down below, including all of the channels mentioned. Rodney as well, thanks for the support. Check out Rodney's channel in the description down below, as well as Daz's channel. Also check out the Football Hub there, which is right there. Also does graphics, as I said. Just check them all out. Really, really good stuff. Also, you can find me on Twitter if you wanna check me out on Twitter. If you want, if you want any more of me, I feel like you're absolutely mad. But anyway, if you want any more of me, I'm on Twitter, so you can check me out on there if you do have Twitter. Link in the description down below. But thanks so much for your support, guys. Really appreciate it. And of course, I will see you guys next time. I might be doing a preview for Wednesday's game against Leeds tomorrow, so make sure you tune in for that. But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.